June the 25th, true bugs. These often beautifully coloured insects suffer from an unfortunate name, which has for centuries been synonymous with dirt and pestilence. The notorious bedbug, which from time to time still occasionally makes its painful presence felt in London hotel bedrooms, has always been one of the most feared of all insects. True bugs, many of which look like beetles, are generally distinguished from other insects by their beak-like mouthparts. These are designed to pierce plants or other creatures and suck their juices. These beaks can be quite dangerous looking and are often surreptitiously hidden away beneath the head. If the bug also has large eyes and strong legs, it is probably a carnivore and may well be capable of piercing human skin, and therefore should be handled accordingly. Bugs are generally quite active insects and often have a slightly unpleasant trademark smell. There are two main groups, Homoptera and Heteroptera, the former generally having similar front and hind wings, and the latter having wings that differ from each other in some way. Typical homopterans are aphids, leafhoppers, mealybugs, whiteflies, and scale insects, and typical heteropterans include the shieldbugs, waterbugs, groundbugs, flowerbugs, lacebugs, bugs, and capsids. This is a truly huge group of insects, and they seem to have representatives in every kind of habitat. Significant numbers are found in woods, heaths, meadows, hedges, gardens, marshes, rivers, and ponds. They are so universal that they even feed on mosses and ferns, which seem to have successfully deterred most herbivores for millions of years. Although they are found between April and October, it is usually their instars that we see, as there may be several molts between egg and adult. Many species are closely associated with the plant they feed upon. Favourite plants, and therefore good places to look for bugs, are oak, lime, sycamore, alder, birch, beech, willow, ash, elm, apple, hawthorn, broom, blackberry, thistles, blackthorn, heather, nettles, and a variety of different common grasses. Places where some of the more interesting species have been recorded are Bushy Park and Richmond Park, Wimbledon Commons, Staines Moor, Wanstead Flats, Epping Forest, and Beddington Sewage Works. To collect them, it is best to sweep vegetation, look under bark, and examine the underside of stones. Shield, mitre, or stink bugs are the most striking and beautiful of all the true bugs. They tend to be large, stout, shield-shaped, slightly convex, and brightly coloured. In a cupped hand, they can smell not unlike rancid almond oil. This is the famous bug smell. It seems to deter some predators, and in humans it has been known to induce headaches. Some female shield bugs also sing, or rather vibrate, indicating they are ready to be approached by a male. As a group, they are seen any time between May and November. The intermediate instars can often be confusing different colours. Most suck sap, but some, for example the spiked shield bug, Picaromeris bidens, prefers to use its beak to suck caterpillars or beetle larvae. When they fly, and they are often reluctant to do so, they first unfold their wings from beneath their wing cases, rather like a ladybird. A small number look like scarab beetles, for example the cowwheat shield bug, Sahira bigutatus, and the negro bud, Thyreocoris scaraboides, both of which can be found burrowing on Mitcham Common. Two of the most famous are the green shield bug, Palomina procina, and the bishop's mitre, Aelia acuminata. The first is common in gardens and the second in grassy areas, including road verges. Many stand out for their colours alone. The hawthorn shield bug, Pysodorus literatus, has one of the most delicately pitted surfaces with a bronze band and pink antennae. The specific name of Zycrona cerulea refers to the cerulean blue, the favourite pigment for watercolour skies. It's called the blue bug and is worth looking for among hawthorn scrub on downland to see its many blue reflections. The brassica bud, Euryedema oleracea, also has many different colour forms, with various red, cream and orange spots, and its rarer relation, the scarlet shield bug, Euryedema dominulus, has a dark metallic sheen, edged and spotted in scarlet. The instars of the pied shield bug, Tritomegas bicolor, and the bronze shield bug, Troilus luridus, both have particularly fine pied markings. One of the most interesting shield bugs is the parent bug, Elismucha grisea. This shows one of the rarest of insect characteristics, which is that of maternal care. After laying her eggs, the female not only tends them, but also protects them from predators and parasites. Family broods can often be found under older leaves. The juniper shieldbug, Cyphostethus tristriatus, was well known along the North Downs in the late 19th century. It cannot be found now as there is so little juniper left. However, it has been found more recently in Bushy Park, having changed its allegiance to Lawson and cypresses. Squash or leatherbugs are very similar to shieldbugs, but tend to be duller brown colours and have thicker thighs. Their antennae are sometimes a little leaf-like, giving rise to another of their names, the leaf-footed bugs. They got their name squash bugs because of some of the American species tended to specialize on squashes and gourds, and even followed these fruits indoors to feed upon them. Here, box, dock, and St. John's wort all have specific species associated with them. Murmus miriformis, which has a pink stripe and pink veins on its wings, has an unusual preference for unripe grass seeds. Good places to look for both shield and squash buds are Richmond, Bushy, and Hampton Court parks, as well as Wanstead Flats and the Oxshott area. Mirids or capsids are the largest group of bugs in the world, and so it is little surprise they can be found in every conceivable habitat and from ground level to the tops of trees, even in London. Considering this, they all look very similar, being typically small, delicate, soft-bodied, and usually some shade of either green or brown. They are mainly vegetarian, and as with so many other bugs, often specific to one plant. The ones we notice are generally feeding on either aphids, various fruits and seeds, or nettles. There are over 1,000 different species in London alone. A small number of the more brightly coloured species can also be found here. Miris striatus is larger than most, with black wings penciled with yellow lines, 2 yellow triangles, and orange legs. It shows a preference for our native shrubs and trees. The tarnished plant bug, Ligus ruguli pennis, has red tarnished wings and is commonly seen on nettles. Pantilius tunicatus, which starts off yellow and then turns red, is best looked for on hazel and alder. Deraiochorus olivaceus has red wing patches, red bands on its legs, and an alarmingly red head. It likes to eating hawthorn berries. One of the more unusual is the shore bug, Saldula salpetoria, which has a more alternative lifestyle, living on the surface of mud at the edges of ponds, looking for cracks in the mud to lay its eggs. Assassin bugs have a far more formidable appearance. They tend to be either grey or black, with elongated heads and large jackknife front legs, which they use to catch their prey. They have short, powerful beaks, usually hidden beneath their heads, which are often quite capable of piercing human skin. Sometimes they squeal a little when handled. Coranus subapterus, the heath assassin bug, smells of ripe pears and is quite noisy when touched. The chocolate-coloured flybug, Reduvius personatus, tends to prefer old buildings where it is attracted to lights, while looking there for other insects to eat. Areas of dry heaths are the best places to look for these bugs. For example, Headley Heath and perhaps the drier parts of Hayes and Keston Commons. Damsel bugs look like assassin bugs, but tend to be either brown or straw-coloured. Some also have black and red warning colours, which is useful as they also can inflict a painful bite. They often have thick, muscular-looking front legs with small spines to help grip their prey. Wherever there are large numbers of small, soft-bodied insects or caterpillars, you are quite likely to find them. The common damsel bug, Nabus rugosus, prefers grassy areas. In wetter areas, it is worth looking for the marsh damsel bug, Dolichonabus limbatus, and although there are not many tree damsel bugs, Himacerus apterus is one that is frequent in London's oakwoods. One species with a more restricted diet is Loricula elegantula, the minute bladder bug, which prefers to eat mites and springtails that live on lichens. The ant damsel bug, Hymacerus myrmicoides, is equally unusual. Its nymphs look like ants, and it is often found in ant nests, yet it prefers to eat butterfly eggs. Lace bugs are not the most colourful of insects, but are still among the most arresting, due to their lace-like markings on their wings. Add a head with similar markings and an overall greyish colour, and the effect of old lace is complete. Tingus cardui The spear thistle lacebug, as its name suggests, is partial to thistles, and congregations of these lacebugs can occasionally be found under their leaves. Acalyptra parvula is one of those rare creatures that eats mosses. It has been found in the grounds of Buckingham Palace.